booyaka shot. Boop, 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 booyaka shot. Boop, 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 cheer. If you hear the sound of my voice, if you can see my face right now, you are experiencing the uncut version of our live recording on October 20th? October 20th, 2024. Just days away from the NBA season and the NBA fantasy basketball season kicking off. So, this is probably going to be the most important show that we film because we are shifting the way we create our content for the new season. So this is officially our week 1. If you are watching this live on YouTube or on X, you are about to experience something that we've never done at Believe in Fantasy Basketball. So we'll talk more about it in a minute, but before we start, we want to go ahead and get to the good news. On October 20th, we said that we were going to announce the winners for the graded rookie card giveaway that we've done for the second year in a row. Last year, we gave away 2 rookie cards. This year, we are giving away 4 rookie cards, graded rookie cards. Excuse me. Now, if you are tuning in live, please make sure you drop your questions in the comments. We'll do our best in the overtime of the episode to answer as many questions as possible. Now, excuse me. We have 4 winners that we're going to announce tonight. Before I do that, I want to be 100% clear that the uncut version of this live stream is going to be aired later on this week. This is the last time that we are going to share this uncut version of the live stream. We've done it, I think this will be the 3rd time that we've done it this offseason. And I just want to make sure we keep this live stream experience, exclusive to the people who pull up and show up for it. So I'm not going to allow the replay to air later like I've been doing. It just doesn't make sense. Because I want to make sure that I'm providing something unique to the people who actually pull up. So, if I announce your name today and you are not listening to this live stream, you will have until October 27th to claim your prize. As a courtesy to you, because we've already said that if you want to find out who's the winner, you have to tune into the live stream. If you missed this show tonight because you have work, family, I get it. I'm not going to be like it's not that serious, right? We're talking NBA fantasy. But I want to be respectful of all the people who did pull up, right? So people might be watching like, say my name, like Destiny's Child, and we don't say their name, and then we say your name, and you ain't even pull up. So we're going to give you until October 27th, 27, next Sunday at midnight Eastern, at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 27th. So you have till 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on October 27th, next Sunday, to claim your prize. To claim your prize, email me at info@believeInFantasy with proof that you are in fact the person that I say your username. Now, with no further ado, and proof can be a screenshot of your Apple Podcast account or something like that. So, with no further ado, we're going to share these winners. Remember, this live stream will not air until later this week. So if you're not tuning in live, as a courtesy to you, we'll also drop some social media posts on Twitter, aka X, and on Instagram and on TikTok to hopefully get the word out to you. If you know one of these people, please reach out to them. But we're going to give you to the 27th. If you're not here, you'll get a chance to see this live stream probably the weekend coming up. Like, it's not coming out until maybe the 25th or the 26th. So I hope you're here. If not, we'll do our best as a courtesy to drop some content to help you find out about your winnings. Again, if you are tuning in on the live stream, please let me know in the comments. It would mean a lot to me. We got G Meso, what's good? We got John Kinley, what it do? So we're going to announce the first winner of the rookie cards that we're giving away. This one is the Darius Garland rookie card, graded PSA 9. And this one goes to my main man or homegirl, not sure, Big and Juicy 24. That is Big and Juicy 24. If your username on Apple Podcasts is Big and Juicy 24, please show me some proof via email at info@BelieveInFantasy. Next up, with the LaMelo Ball PSA 9 rookie card. LaMelo Ball PSA 9 rookie card. The winner is K Chisholm 10. K Chisholm 10. If that is you, please shoot me an email at info@BelieveInFantasy to claim your prize. Next up, oh baby. This one is for the SGC 10. SGC 10. Zach LaVine rookie card. This one goes to HLP Drummer. HLP Drummer. If that is you, please send me an email at info@BelieveInFantasy.com with proof that, in fact, you are that person. Now, the final card is the mystery card. The mystery card that you've been waiting for. Drum roll, please. The mystery card is a GMA 10. A GMA 10 Karl Anthony Towns rookie card. 2015 Prism rookie card. Karl Anthony Towns is yours. And the winner is Val Market. Val Market, if that is you, please send me proof at info@BelieveInFantasy.com. Do not forget, you have until October 27th, 11:59 p.m. to claim your prize. If, in fact, you have already entered and these folks do not claim these cards by this coming Sunday, October 27th at 11:59 p.m., you will be next up and we will randomly select more winners. If you want to enter, there is still time, because I promise you, at least one of these 4 people will not reach out and claim their prize, and you will have a chance. In order to enter, all you have to do is visit Apple Podcasts, find Believe in Fantasy Basketball, or click the link in the show notes or of the description of our YouTube episode, and go ahead and leave us a thoughtful 5-star review. The more thoughtful the review is, the more you'll stand out. And at the end of your review, make sure you list the card that you are interested in. You can enter as many times as you like. So you can leave 7 comments and request all of the cards. So don't hesitate to run it up. Just know that Apple Podcasts typically takes about 24 to 48 hours for those reviews to go through the system and show up for us. So that part of the show is done. I am super grateful for that. Now, we're going to get into the get down. Let me get a sip of this water because it's about to go down, y'all. Think about it like you're at the live taping of a show, because that's what this is. We're going to edit these joints later. You are getting the behind the scenes, and that's one of the reasons why we will not be sharing the uncut version of the live streams after this episode. The only reason I'm going to share this one is as a courtesy to these 4 people who have these cards, who are winning, or are supposed to claim these cards, right? So once they claim their cards, once we film these live streams, it's done, right? You're never going to see the behind the scenes stuff. It's also worth noting, if you want the information like the waiver wire pickups, buy low, sell high, the rankings, all of the things that we're going to do this season, if you want them as soon as possible, you have to tune into the live stream, which typically starts between 10 and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday. So we will be filming every Sunday night unless there's, God forbid, an emergency or something and I can't do it. But typically, like, I think in my whole time doing this show, we've probably missed 3 or 4 weekends because of certain circumstances. But let me stop rambling. We're going to get down to it. So let me lock in. Another sip of this water. It is finally here. Week 1 of the fantasy basketball season. You've been waiting all summer for this, doing your homework, doing your drafts, and now it's time to lock in. And one of the most important parts about fantasy basketball is being super nimble and hyper-focused on the waiver wire. In this episode, we're going to run down the top 5 waiver wire targets you need to focus on for week 1 of the NBA fantasy season. We believe every NBA fan that plays fantasy football should also play fantasy basketball. We back, first episode of the new season. I am honored, humbled. Man, so many new members in our community on Discord, people on YouTube, and even the audio podcast. Guys, if you are about that fantasy basketball life, specifically for points leagues, you are in the right place. Welcome home. Wipe your feet at the door. Take your feet off. Take your shoes off your feet. Get relaxed. Come on in and chill out with your boy. We got wings in the kitchen. We got drinks in the fridge. Just chill out. You are with your boy, Robin Mark. So, like I said, it's very important that when we navigate our fantasy basketball season, we are locked in to make sure that we are active and on the waiver wire trying to find value. I tell people all the time, you don't win your fantasy basketball league in the draft. And that's kind of our mindset because honestly, drafting is probably the best part of fantasy sports in general. Fantasy football, baseball, hockey, especially basketball. But if you about hanging up those banners, getting those championship rings, winning your league prize, and having bragging rights over your league mates, you got to get focused when it comes to in-season roster management. And the number one way you can increase the value and chances even to win the championship is by getting active on the waiver wire. The team that you draft will not be the team that you end the season with. And in order for you to get what you need to tune in to these episodes weekly to make sure you're a step ahead of your competition. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into the first player for the waiver wire targets for week 1. Now, I get it. No games have happened. We've only had preseason, but preseason can still give you some hints on what you should do as you get into the mix early on in a fantasy basketball season. And one word that we use a lot around here is upside. I'd rather have a new puppy with upside than an old dog that you can't teach new tricks. And the first player I'm going to talk about is a puppy, but he got the bark of a Rottweiler. I'm talking about my man from the Los Angeles Lakers. And I am not talking about Bronny James. Huh? I'm talking about your man, Dalton Connect. Your man, Dalton Connect, went Walla Banini crazy the other night against the Suns. He ended the game with 35 freaking points. Overtime win, I'll add. Listen, one thing you want to take a look at with these rookies and these younger players is upside, right? What did they do in college? What is their story? In his last season in college, he averaged 21.7 points per game. Let that sink in. Now, JJ Redick, we don't know what to expect from him as a head coach. But one thing is for sure, that the Lakers are always trying to find ways to lift some of that responsibility and that burden off of the king, LeBron James, off of his shoulders, right? They know they can't run the king to the ground, even though he is father time, and we've never seen anything like it in terms of durability, consistency, and just high-level play over such a long span of time. He is like played against every player. Like, it's crazy. We've never seen a guy jump from era to era like LeBron. But eventually, your man is going to have some type of regression. I mean, he has to. We say it every year. I don't know if it's going to be this season, but in order for them to kind of push back the due date on when your man is going to finally hang up those LeBron James sneakers, it's through nourishing and nurturing, I should say, young talent like Dalton Knecht. We saw it with Austin Reeves, right? Think about Dalton Knecht as like Austin Reeves 2.0, right? So Austin Reeves he's really trying to position himself to have a long career, you know, get bags over the season as the seasons go by, right? Dalton Knecht is like a poor man's version of Austin Reeves. He could probably produce on a similar level or a higher level if given the opportunity. We just don't know what's going to happen. But in these situations where week one is upon us and he is actually on ESPN available across so many leagues, he is only rostered in 17.5% of ESPN leagues. Come on, man. You got to, if your draft didn't happen, get him with the last pick. Like, I've been on the hilltop, draft Rob Dillingham. If you want to get him with your last pick, get him. You could also get Dalton Knecht. Huh? Like, he is that type of guy. Like, I don't give a shit, Sue puppy. If he's available on my waiver wire right now and I have a guy at the back end that's like maybe a Bobby Portis level type player, and I'm like, you know what? I know what to expect from Bobby Crazy Eyes Portis, but I don't know what I'm going to get from Dalton Knecht. So in the infamous and legendary timeless words of Raekwon the Chef, it's time to politic connect ditto with your man, Dalton Knecht. I'm picking him up in points leagues. The next player I want to talk about is someone that maybe I haven't been as high on. I've had some concerns about his health over the years, and honestly, he don't play. So I really haven't had a reason to bring him up. But I did have an opportunity in the preseason to see him get on the floor. And to be honest, he looks pretty good. And when he was healthy, before he went down with all of these injuries, he was the kind of player that you wanted to have on your roster. Now, I get it. If a player is coming back from a major injury, there's going to be some level of kind of building up to it and working himself back into true NBA form. But this guy has shown over the years that he is a baller, and I think that he has the potential to contribute to your team winning this year, especially if he can stay healthy. From the Chicago Bulls, somebody that I did not think I would be talking about this early in the season, but I am pleasantly surprised. Your man's in Lonzo Ball. Yes, Big Baller Brand is back. Woo! Man, listen. Now, I get it. He's only rostered in 16.1% of ESPN leagues. People don't have faith in Lonzo Ball staying healthy. This is a guy that was drafted number 2 when he came out. This is a guy that, when healthy, contributed on a high level for points leagues. This is a guy whose last name is Ball. Let that sink in. He is literally a baller. So for me, I'm all about giving Lonzo Ball a chance if I'm picking up someone off of the waiver wire and just kind of monitoring to see what happens. Does he get to 25 minutes early on? Are they going to test him out? Are they going to kind of just like unleash him and let him do what he does? I know Josh Giddey is there, so there might be a shift in the dynamic because Josh Giddey is a prolific distributor of the rock, but they have him listed as a shooting guard and a small forward. Josh Giddey, a.k.a. the Giddler. Just wanted to sneak that in. Josh the Giddler. Giddey is playing shooting guard and small forward according to the depth chart. So I'm looking at Lonzo Ball as a point guard. Will he get the starting nod? I think it's something that's worth paying attention to as we get into the early stages of the season. With both of these guys, Connect and Ball, you want to be patient. Don't just pick them up, see that they have a bad game, and write them off. If you're in the position where you have another spot that you can use for streaming, if you don't know what streaming is, it's when you rotate players out of a slot on your roster so you can get more games played. So if the worst player on your team is, let's say, Bobby Portis, and the person above it is Lonzo Ball or Connect, then you can use that spot. But if Lonzo Ball or Dalton Connect are the worst players on your team, depending on your matchup, you might have to drop them. But if you're winning week 1, which is a shorter week, and you have the opportunity to hold these guys, I would do just that. The next player I'm going to talk about is kind of wild for the night. He's a gentleman that is been on the record to have some like questionable activity off the court. So because of that, he kind of gets a bad rap. However, he is a proven scorer, and he's in a position now with a franchise that is going to be in need of buckets. I'm talking about from the Los Angeles Clippers. Your man's in them. Actually, your man, not my man. Your man's in them. Kevin Porter Jr., a.k.a. KPJ. Now listen, people have this moral dilemma surrounding players like Kevin Porter Jr., Miles Bridges, the list goes on and on, when they have some Jason Kidd, don't forget, right? Many players have had questionable, sketchy, checkered pasts, right? Think mistakes that they've made or allegedly made, whatever the situation is. But when we're talking about fantasy, you got to look at the stats. Don't get me wrong. If you have some kind of moral code, if you have a moral code that prevents you from drafting a player like Kevin Porter Jr. because he had a charge, then that's on you. I would never be mad at that. But for me, I'm trying to win me a freaking fantasy basketball championship. Kevin Porter Jr. plays for the Clippers. I've been talking about him all offseason. Go check out my man, Dan Bespris, the Old Man Squad podcast. I was there talking about points, league sleepers, and KPJ was one of those guys. Now, when I did that episode, Kawhi Leonard, it was not announced that Kawhi Leonard would be out indefinitely. And guess what? Kawhi Leonard is out indefinitely. Questionable work. Hot dog water with the bratwurst residue. Kawhi broken thigh Leonard out. I have never in my long-legged life, I've been creating content for fantasy basketball. Like, this is, I think, our 4th season. 21, 22, 23. This is our 4th season, y'all. Don't get me lying. Anyway, you look at it. I've been creating content for years, right? For years. Every year I say, do not draft Kawhi Leonard. Every year I say, stay away from Kawhi Leonard. Every year I say, Kawhi Leonard will burn you. Right? Dumpster fire burn you. And he did it again. And don't get me wrong, and I say this every time. I never want an NBA player to get hurt. I would never wish that on someone. And I think Kawhi Leonard is one of the most elite players and talents in the NBA when healthy. But He don't play. He don't play. So stay away from Kawhi Leonard. A player like Kevin Porter Jr., with the only talent that they have in LA right now being really like supreme talent, right, is James Harden, who's going to be the main attraction. Kevin Porter Jr., if he gets some minutes, he's going to show that he can put on for the city. So I'm grabbing Kevin Porter Jr. if he's available on the waiver wire. The next player I'm going to talk about will also benefit from some of the stars on the squad being a little banged up. And this guy is someone I'm not super high on, but I know that when he gets minutes, he can produce. I'm talking about from the Philadelphia 76ers, Kelly Oubre Jr. Now, there's two levels to this. The first level is Paul George. Paul George is banged up. He had some weird-looking accident in the preseason that looks scary. It looked like his season might be over. They ran an MRI, and it looks like he's going to be okay. But he's going to be out for a little while. The other level is Joel, the process, Embiid. Now, I don't know if you saw Kevin Garnett's recent episode with Paul Pierce, and he was going off on Joel, y'all. Yo, if you didn't hear, Joel Embiid it's been announced that Joel Embiid will be resting back-to-backs indefinitely. Let that sink in. For like his career, the rest of his career, he will be resting back-to-backs, meaning that you will only get a certain amount of value from him if he's healthy. Kevin Garnett said, the job requires 82 games, and he was going off, cursing out Joel Embiid. So listen, I don't know Joel's situation personally. I know fantasy, though. I'm a fantasy analyst. I does this. I live, sleep, eat, and poop this. I am an absolute sicko when it comes to fantasy basketball, specifically points leagues. And Kelly Oubre Jr., as like non-sexy as that sounds, will provide tons of value. He is projected this year, according to ESPN, to average 30 minutes a game with 15.9 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, 1.2 steals. Steals, right? Which for ESPN is valued at 4 points per steal. So listen, hey, again, it's not sexy. It's not something I'm excited about. But if he's available on your waiver wire and Connect and maybe KPJ, some of those guys aren't available, it's somebody that I would definitely play. At least give him a streaming opportunity. Let him run a couple games for you and see if you're going to retain him for your roster. The next player is someone that I've been really high on, but over the last season, because of injuries, he's kind of like faded to black a little bit. And honestly, I think for me, it's somebody that I want to give another try and check out and see if he can kind of bring back that positive vibration that I used to get when I had him on my roster. Because honestly, one thing that I know is when NBA players have major haircuts, like change their hairstyle. For example, Anthony Edwards came into the league with like braids and he cut his hair. After that, it was like a whole new Ant-Man. And I think this gentleman is going to have the same kind of switch in gear because of his haircut, but also because of the environment. I'm talking about from the Indiana Pacers, Benedict Mathurin. Benedict Mathurin got a new haircut. You can see it in the picture right over there. Oh, is it this way? This way, right? Got a new haircut. I'm telling you, I know it sounds silly, and like we talk about analytics, we talk about statistics. We don't talk about haircuts enough, right? It's a thing. Like Jimmy Butler, huh? Right? Benedict Mathurin, I believe, is going to have a great season. ESPN has him projected to average 17.1 points per game. Last season, he averaged 14.5. So for some reason, they think he's going to go up in value. For me, I'm all about the big chop. When you get your braids and stuff cut off, you come back just on some neck stuff. So for me, I am definitely willing to pick up Mathurin to at least just see if there's anything there. He's only rostered in 16.8% of ESPN leagues, so he is widely available across the platform. I'm going to grab Benedict Mathurin. Now that you know the top 5 players you need to pick up for NBA fantasy, check out this episode for the top 50 tips to win your league. This episode was presented to you by BetOnline. Okay, so that's the first one we got. Let's check. We got 70 people in the room. Okay, y'all. I see y'all. It's a little break. Drop, please, in the comments. Let me know where you're checking in from. So we're going to jump right into the next one. I'm not playing, y'all. I'm telling you, this is a whole new vibration we on. It's a whole new vibration. Let's get to it. Let me get a sip of my drink. It's a whole new vibration. Okay. Shoot, shish kebabs. I forgot one thing. Let me do that real quick. We'll do it for the next episode. Okay. Card giveaway. It is week 1 of the NBA season, and you want to know who are the top 100 players for fantasy basketball. And it is week 1 of the NBA season, and you want to know who the top 100 players are for fantasy basketball. In this episode, we're going to run down that list and give you our commentary so you can make the decisions necessary to win your league championship. We believe every NBA fan that plays fantasy football should also play fantasy basketball. We're giving away sports cards for our episodes. Now, I'm going to give away one of these cards for this episode, but in order to do that, we need to get this episode up to 100 likes. We got a LaMelo Ball rookie card that we're going to be giving away, right? Raw. We also have a Devin Vassell rookie card that we're going to be giving away. Beautiful shape. We also have an Anthony Edwards rookie card that we're going to be giving away. It's also in beautiful shape. Then we have a Tyrese Maxey card that we're going to be giving away this week. And then we have an Onyeka Okongwu rookie card that we're going to be giving away this week. And last but not least, we have a second LaMelo Ball card we will be giving away this week. To enter, all you have to do is get this video to 100 likes, and then in the comment section of the YouTube version of this episode, just comment the name of the player that you want for your card. If you can also include an interesting comment about the episode, that would make your entry stand out a little more, but we're going to give them out randomly. Every week, we're going to try to have a new batch of cards. This is this week's batch. If these cards don't all get given away, we'll carry them over week to week. And I know you're not here to just hear, and I know you don't want to hear me ramble about giving away free cards, so let's jump right into the value. So here we are on #basketball. If you use this site, it's very important that you adjust the actual settings to make sure that it reflects on the platform that you play on. There is a little section here that you can put it on to the site, but when you do that, that doesn't automatically populate the accurate settings. You want to make sure that you go in and manually set them. We are using ESPN settings: 1 point for points, 1 point for rebounds, 2 points for assists, 4 points for steals and blocks, 1 point for three-pointers made, -1 for field goal attempts, 1 point for free throws made, -2 for turnovers. And we're going to go through the top 100 from top to bottom here. We're going to go from number 1 right on down the line. Let's get it. First up, we got Luka Doncic. I am not mad at that. People are concerned about the 2-game playoff week that they have for fantasy basketball. For me, I always say just get to the playoffs and worry about it later. If you can get Luka Doncic in the top 3, or if you can trade for him because someone is concerned here in week 1 after the drafts are over and you're like, hey, I'll take Luka off your hand, I'll throw you SGA or Anthony Davis, then that's something I would be open to doing. Number 2, Nikola Jokic. Now, Jokic can go 1, 2, or 3. For me, I'm holding him if I have him on my team. However, if you want to get more depth, he's definitely a piece that you can leverage to try to get more kind of late first-round picks or even second-round picks. You could probably swap Jokic for 2 second-round picks. Number 3, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I am okay with that there, and I think that in your leagues, you want to look at these top-tier players as targets if you are trying to build a top-heavy roster. Excuse me. Number 4, Victor Wembanyama. Yes. Number 5, SGA. I am all about that SGA life. I'm just saying. I saw SGA go number 2 in a fantasy basketball draft the other day, and I was like, whoa. It was in one of my home leagues. I was like, yo, I wouldn't do that, but I'm not mad at it. And that's the thing about fantasy. You sit here and you pick your team. You make trades for your the players that you want on your team, and people are like, that's crazy, that's stupid, that's dumb. And then that player goes all the way off. Then you're like, told you so. So I try my best not to judge unconventional moves. I kind of look at it like, well, maybe he knows something that we don't. Maybe he knows something that we don't. But for me, I'm all in on SGA. I would definitely trade up for him. At number 6, we got Anthony Davis. Yes. Top is off, boobies is out, hair blowing in the wind. Convertible status. Now, this is wild. Number 7, James Harden? Yo, #basketball got me tripping. Now, let me know in the comments, do you guys think James Harden is going to finish at 7? Now, mind you, these are projections. We haven't had any games in week 1 at the time of recording this. So these are projections. We will do rankings during the season with actual numbers that are happening game to game. So it'll be like the actual, top 100, not the projected top 100. I think 7 for James Harden is crazy. I'm not for that life. If someone in your league thinks he's a top 7 player, then I would package him to get somebody like AD or SGA or one of those top guys. But that's kind of wild to me. Number 8, Tyrese Halliburton. That makes sense to me. I'm okay with that. Trae Young, yes. Joel Embiid at 10. Guys, if you did not hear, I'm going to have to tell you. Unfortunately, news broke that Joel Embiid will be resting back-to-backs for life. What the heck? Listen. Okay, I'm gonna quickly soapbox this situation, and then I'm gonna move on to number 11. But check this out. Imagine this. What do you do for a living? Cool. You said that you're a lawyer. You said that you work at Chick-fil-A, right? You're a marketing specialist. You're a finance guy, right? You're a nurse. What do you do? Now, imagine if you came into work and you said, hey, listen, guys, my knees hurt. I know a part of my responsibility is to lift these boxes at Amazon, but I'm letting you know that I have a lingering injury that won't get better. And in order for me to be ready for our peak season for Christmas all year in the regular season of our work and our business, I need to rest back-to-backs, meaning that my 5-day work week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm taking off on Tuesday because I can't work a back-to-back. Taking off on Thursday. So I'm only working Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let that sink in. It's crazy, y'all. So listen, I don't know Joel's situation. And I'm not going to be mad at somebody who somehow, maneuvers it where they only got to show up 3 days a week for work. They get 2 days off and they finagled it like that. Like, that's what you want to do. That's fine. I'm saying that this is a job where the public is going, the customers, the public are your customers. So now I'm going to pull up to the Philadelphia 76ers game and I don't even know which game you're going to take off. Now you can flip-flop games and be like, oh, well, we played the Wizards on Tuesday and we played the Celtics on Wednesday. I want to play the Celtics, so I'm going to take off on Tuesday. But the next week, it might be the other way around. It's wild, y'all. Like, if y'all haven't seen Kevin Garnett's take on it, he went off. And I'm kind of right there. And again, I don't know Joel personally, and I want the best for the brother. But this is crazy. For fantasy, for just being a fan of the game, I'm going to just retire and resign from my soapbox now. Let me move on. Number 11, Domantas Sabonis. Yes. 12, Jason Tatum. Yes. LeBron James at 13. Yes. 14, Scotty Barnes. Yes. 15, Ja Facebook Live with the Blicky Morant. Yes. LaMelo Ball at 16. Yes. Damian Lillard at 17. Yes. Jimmy $100 cup of coffee Butler. Heck to the no. I am out on Jimmy Butler. Definitely at 18. That's crazy town. What the heck is up with these projections? That's crazy. Jalen Brunson at 19. Yes. Alperen Şengün at 20. Yes. I might even be a little higher on Jalen Brunson. Fred VanVleet at 21. That seems a little high. Paolo Banchero at 22. Okay. Donovan Mitchell at 23. I feel like that's a little low. Maybe he should be a little higher. 24, Rudy Gobert. Okay. That seems high. Okay. 25, Devin Booker. Seems about right. Anthony Edwards, 26. Many are higher on Anthony Edwards. This is fine for Anthony Edwards, somewhere in the 20s. Chet Holmgren at 27. For points leagues, he's a lot lower than that normally. I like this, and I'm okay with that. Kevin Durant at 28. Okay. Bam Adebayo at 29. People are higher on Bam Adebayo than I am. I get it. I'm okay with this. 30 for De'Aaron Fox. It seems low for Fox. Steph Curry at 31 seems low for Curry. 32, Kyrie Irving seems about right. Emmanuel Quickly at 33 seems a little bit high. Karl Anthony Towns at 34. I saw Karl Anthony Towns go in top of the second round. I think this is too low for Karl Anthony Towns. Tyrese Maxey at 35. Maybe. Zion Williamson at 36 seems right. Evan Mobley at 37. Although some are lower on him, I think this is perfect. Lauri Markkanen at 38. Okay. 39, Jaren Jackson Jr. I am lower on him. 40, Jalen Johnson. Yes. 41, DeMar DeRozan. DeMar, not like us, DeRozan. That's okay. DeJounte Murray at 42. That's all right. Nicholas Claxton at 43. A little high for me. 44, Derek White. A little high for me. Cade Cunningham at 45. That is too low for my taste buds. Yo. 46, Pascal Siakam. Maybe. Jalen Williams at 47. Feels like he should be a little higher. 48, Jamal Murray. That's fine. Yusuf Nurkic at 49. That's okay. Actually, I'm a little low. He should be lower than that. Miles Turner at 50. Lower. Kristaps Porzingis. I am out on Kristaps. Get him off of your list. 52, Paul George. He's banged up, but I think this is still too low for him. 53, Jarrett Allen. I'm okay with that. 54, Darius Garland. I'm okay with that. Kawhi, busted thigh. Leonard at 55. No. Questionable work. I am out on Kawhi. Draymond off the top rope turnbuckle with the leg drop green. Nope. Desmond, bring the pain, Bane. I came to bring the Bane hardcore to your brain. Yes. Maybe I'm a little higher, actually, on Bane. Russell at 58, D'Angelo, that is. Yes. Jakob Poeltl at 59, maybe. Franz Wagner at 60, feel like he should be a little higher. Jaylen Brown, little higher. Walker Kessler, little lower. Isaiah Hartenstein, with the injury, 63, too high. Amin Thompson at 64, maybe. 65, Brandon Ingram, maybe. Julius Randle, 66, too low. Let's go. Nikola Vucevic, 67, maybe. Austin Reeves, 68, I'm okay with that. 69, giggity. Big shout out to my man Josh Lloyd, Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Chris Paul at 69, maybe too high. I like him in the top 100, not at 69. 70, Tyus Jones, maybe. Trace Jackson Davis, that might be the highest I've ever seen him at 71. I'm okay with that. Zach LaVine at 72, maybe. 73, Jordan, leave the kids at the pool with the baddies. Maybe. 74, Aaron Gordon, too high. 75, Colin Sexton, maybe too high. 76, Mark Williams, maybe. 77, Mike Conley, too high. Josh Giddey, a.k.a. The Giddler. Josh the Giddler. Giddey at 78, too low. R.J. Barrett at 79, maybe. 80, Tobias Harris, a little higher for me. 81, Capella, maybe. 82, Drew Holiday, not sure. Not sure how I feel about that. I think it might be about right. Mikal Bridges, I feel like that's a deal. And I'll take that deal. I think people are super low on Mikal Bridges because the expectations are so high. I don't remember the last time we saw a fantasy basketball player move into the second round. Like, people were drafting this guy in the second round. They were so hyped about him. Oh, he's in Brooklyn. He finally got the keys to the car. He got his own team. He's going to go off. And he didn't perform on that level. And then folks were like, hey, listen, he didn't perform at the level that we wanted, so now he's a top 80 player. Where they do that at? That is hot dog water logic with the bratwurst residue dumpster juice vials. It's not okay. Like, I don't think he should go that low. Like, and I understand. For New York, they have a bunch of mouths to feed. You got Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart. You know, we got all of these players. But he's still Mikal Bridges. Come on, man. Y'all remember what he used to do in Phoenix? He don't really need the ball to produce. And I think he'll perform way beyond 83. I'm just saying. I am just saying. 84, Jalen Duren, way higher on Jalen Duren. I say it all the time. Think prime Andre Drummond. Jalen Duren is going to be a beast for points leagues. Zubats at 85, I'm okay with that. Kobe White at 86, maybe he should be a little higher. Devin Vassell at 87, he's banged up, so I think this is fair. Jalen Green just keeps dropping and keeps falling. Keeps dropping and keeps falling. I'm okay with that. I'm out on Jalen Green anyway. But Derek Lively the second, oh baby, I think he's going to go off. I'm all in on Derek Lively. 89, I think is okay. I think you can get him in that area, or, you know, he'll finish the season maybe a little higher than that, but I'm okay with that right now. Mitch Robinson at 90, I'm not okay with that. Banged up, like no telling when he's coming back. We got to maybe, is there a filter that we can put on to adjust the value of injured players here? I don't know about this. 91, Jalen Suggs, maybe. 92, Jabari Smith Jr. I feel like he should be a little bit higher. Dan Gafford, I don't know about Dan Gafford. People are drafting Dan Gafford Dan Gafford all over the shop. And I don't know if I'm okay with that. I don't know. I feel like Derek Lively is going to secure the starting position. And I know Dan Gafford will still provide some value, but I don't know if I'm drafting him right here or even looking for him right here. But at this time, you probably finish a draft. We're in week one of the fantasy season. I don't know about Dan Gafford. Alex Caruso, maybe. Dennis Schroeder, maybe. Jeremy Grant, heck to the no. I am out on Jeremy Grant wherever he's ranked. I'm sorry. One of the cards that we're giving away, Onyeka Okongwu at 97. I'm okay with that. Alex Sarr at 99, maybe. Ben, your friend Simmons at 99. How the mighty have fallen. This is a guy that was the future. He was supposed to be the next LeBron. What happened, man? What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy? And rounding out the top 100, again, how the mighty have fallen. Bradley Beal at 100. Now that you know the top 100 players for fantasy basketball, check out this episode for the top 5 waiver wire targets you need to focus on for week 1. This episode was presented to you by BetOnline. Cut. So we banged out 2 episodes. Livestream is cooking. We got 103 people in the place. Let me give some shout outs. I got my man Anthony Rogers, a.k.a. Antech. We got Malik J, Hoop Venture, What It Do. My man Mark Atkinson, who Ormant's in the building. And Henry Murnane in the building. We got John in the building. J Rags in the building. Beyond the Rabbit Hole in the building. And we got Armando in the building. We got John in the building. The Valet in the building. We got Brian in the building. We got Kids Awful in the building. We got Reed in the building. We got Paolo in the building. We got I think that's about it. I think that's it. Cody in the building. We got Christian in the building. We got Dricky in the building. Jamie in the building. Okay. Seasons in the building. Dawson in the building. Arya in the building? Cool. Okay, so that's all the shout-outs. Okay, so we did the waiver wire episode. We did the top 100 episode. Now we got one more. Woo! Well, we got one more, and then we're going to do, like, the overtime. But, man, this, I don't know, man. Let me know what y'all think, because this seems like a lot. Let me know what y'all think, because, like, I was trying to figure out like how it was gonna feel, and this seems like a lot, you know. So, but I want to provide my people with value, and I want people to win championships. But again, I'm only human, and this seems like a lot. I got a full-time job, got 2 babies upstairs, and I got a wife. Happy wife, happy life. So let's get into the final segment, and then stick around because we are also gonna do a little bit of Q&A for the overtime. And I'm also going to shout out all of our new members to the community in the live stream every week. I'll do that for the live stream. Again, if you are one of the winners, it's Val Market, HLP Drummer, Big and Juicy 24, and K Chisholm 10. You got to email me before October 27th with proof that you are who you are to get your cards. Okay. Let me get a sip of my drink and lock in for this final segment. Jeez Louise. Please, man, somebody pray for me. Fantasy gods, send me some energy. About to cook. I love this. Game time. Okay, cool. Okay, here we go. And my hooks, I haven't been writing my hooks lately, and they've been performing well. I just been kind of taking a topic and flowing with the hook. The opening line before I start the episode, I just kind of been freestyling those, just thinking a little bit before I go. And this one's going to be fun. Here we go. Week 1 of the fantasy basketball season is here, and people are telling you, don't make any trades. Hold on to your team. Be patient. But one of your favorite things to do in fantasy is to trade. So when you trade, you want to... That was good. Let me try that one again. It is week 1 of the fantasy basketball season, and people are telling you not to make any trades. They're saying, be patient. Don't make any moves. You drafted them for a reason. But your favorite part of fantasy, besides drafting, is making trades. So make some trades. But if you do so, you got to buy low and sell high. In this episode, we're going to share with you the fantasy basketball buy lows and sell highs for week 1 of the NBA season. We believe every NBA fan that plays fantasy football should also play fantasy basketball. Now, I know people say don't trade this early in the season, but there are some opportunities there. There are some players who might be getting a bad rap right now that maybe you can leverage, take an opportunity to just come up and take advantage of your league mates. Now I know I said it. Take advantage. You want to totally rob them, fleece them, trick them, manipulate them so you can come up in fantasy. Now, I get it. Some people might play the ethical game no, well, we want to make sure that every trade we make works for both sides and that he can win and I can win. Heck no. Nah, man. I'm trying to destroy you. Huh? I'm trying to do anything I can do to put my foot on your freaking neck, to crush you and your team. Listen, you my guy. I love playing fantasy with you. And just like after the game in a real NBA game, we can shake hands, do some dab. But when we're inside the lines for fantasy basketball, it's none of that. I'm not trying to help your team come up. So I know some analysts out there and maybe even some players, their philosophy is maybe a little different than mine. And I get that. And I would never knock you for that. I'm just letting you know how I roll. I'm not trying to be let everybody win. Ain't no participation trophies in fantasy basketball. I am literally trying to rip your heart out. With that said, one of the best ways to do that is with a buy low or a sell high. So I'm going to share with you a few players that I think you can target here in week 1 based on some recent news that could lead to you getting an advantage on your league mates. So we've had some big news in the NBA, and there are 2 kinds of fantasy basketball players, right? There's the fantasy basketball player that drafted early before the news, right? And then we have the fantasy basketball player that drafted after the news, right? Let that sink in. Before and after. So the first buy low that I want to talk about is Kawhi Leonard. Now, no. Don't leave. Stay right there. I know I've been on the hilltop saying stay away from Kawhi Leonard. But if people are starting to look at Kawhi Leonard as dumpster juice, like somebody that you can drop or throw out and not stash in your IR to see if he can provide some value later on, maybe you could get him for peanuts. So there's someone who drafted Kawhi before the news came out that Kawhi Leonard would be out indefinitely. That player has a whole different mindset around Kawhi because they spent a 3rd or 4th round pick on him when I told them not to draft him, right? So you know that guy. He's in your league. It's your men's in them, right? Hey, I don't give a Shih Tzu puppy. How close y'all are, how far y'all go back to third grade, second grade, first grade, you can throw your bottom 2 players over to his squad, bring Kawhi back to your squad, throw him in your IR. Now you have 2 spots that you can use for streaming. If you don't know what streaming is, basically it's taking those bottom 2 or 3 spots on your roster of your worst players and dropping them and picking up players who actually have games so you can get as many games as possible in fantasy. This could be a great play for you. Now, again, I am not looking to draft Kawhi Leonard any year, but would I grab him off the waiver wire if somebody dropped him? Would I throw you Bobby Portis? Would I throw you my Bobby Portis for him? Huh? And my Jonathan Isaac? I'll throw you Jonathan Isaac and Bobby Portis for Kawhi Leonard right now. And that's what I'm talking about. So I'm not saying, hey, trade Amin Thompson for Kawhi Leonard. Don't do that. Look at your bottom 2 players and see if you can, A, bring Kawhi back to your squad, but also free up a couple of roster spots so you can improve your streaming as you start out the season. The second player is in that same category for buy lows. He's a player that has news breaking around him, and there's somebody that drafted him before the news, and there's somebody that drafted him after the news. The people that traded him after the news, as well as the people who drafted Kawhi, right? We're not talking about them. We're talking about the people who spent a top 5 pick on this guy, maybe even a top 4, top 7 pick. I'm talking about Joel Embiid. If there was ever a buy low for fantasy basketball, this is it. This is it. So for Joel Embiid, I've been low on Joel Embiid. I wasn't saying that I wouldn't take him. I just wasn't trying to take him in the first round. Now with the news that he's going to be resting back-to-backs for eternity, for infinity and beyond on some Buzz Lightyear crap, I'm out on Joel. But if I could get Joel, if I could trade a few of my middle round guys like Brandon Ingram and Chris Paul for Joel Embiid, if he's healthy and he rests back-to-backs, he might play 60-something games. The value that you'll get from Joel Embiid for 60-something games will far surpass anything you get from those 2 middle-round guys like a Brandon Ingram or a Chris Paul. With that said, now this is the magic, right? So listen up close. This is super important. Joel Embiid, when healthy, is the top, if not top 2 fantasy basketball players on the planet. Let that sink in. So no, right now there's a lot of negative publicity around him. And somebody drafted before, we've been talking about before and after, somebody drafted him before this news broke, and they are sick to their freaking stomach. You have, and this is it, this is the important nugget. You have to create the narrative. You create the narrative. Don't allow your league mates to just kind of willy-nilly through what they see on ESPN. No. Hey, send your man a text. Be like, yo, bro. Yo, I'm sorry you got that dumpster juice on your roster, man. Yo, I'm sorry that hot dog water with the bratwurst residue is leaking all the way down your top 5. Yo-ho-ho. Right? Hey, send him an article. Man, you see this article, what they said about Joel? Dang, man, man, I would trade you something for him, but I don't think I even want him on my roster. Start throwing all of these little tidbits of information about Joel to that league manager who drafted him again before the news. And then finally get him in a conversation about it, him or her in a conversation about it, and then you send the offer. Listen, I'm going to do you a favor, man. I like Joel. and I'll take him off your hands. I know you drafted him with the 4th pick, but I'm gonna send you Zach LaVine and Jordan Poole. I'll give you a 2-for-1 for him right now. But hurry up and take it before I change my mind. And before you know, you got Joel Embiid on your team. And if he is healthy, you just offered 2 middle-tier guys for one of the top players in fantasy basketball. So, again, I am not high on Joel Embiid. I'm not. But I'm saying this is an opportunity to buy low. Excuse me. The last player is Isaiah Hartenstein. Now, people have been super high on him. He's been one of the darlings of the offseason. People are excited about him moving to New York, over to OKC, getting the keys to the car in the front court, being the center, and now he's banged up with a hurt wrist, a broken wrist. He's going to be out for a number of weeks. But one thing about a wrist injury, when the guy finishes or he heals up, I should say, he's going to get on the court and he's going to play. They're not going to have to ramp him up. So if you can be patient to send an offer of some of your lower players to get him on your bench and then throw him into your IR, I think it'll pay off for you long term. Now I want to talk about some fantasy basketball sell highs. The first player I want to talk about is Donovan Clingan. If you don't know who he is a rookie center from the Portland Trail Blazers who recently had a crazy game. Like, I think he grabbed like 20 boards. Your man is for real, for real. Now, he has DeAndre Ayton ahead of him. I don't know if they're going to play them together at all, but I do know that there's a lot of buzz around him right now. So if you can move him to another squad to see if you can bring back some value, maybe you can flip it where you can actually send him and something else for an Embiid, him and something else for a Kawhi, and stash Kawhi and then have Embiid resting those back-to-backs. I would definitely do that because Donovan Clingan, as much as I like him, I'm not sure if there's a path for him to get the kind of minutes required for him to be a high-level fantasy producer. I do think he will have some value, but I think he might be a more valuable trade asset early on in the season. Again, you drafted him for a reason, so if you want to hold, that's fine. But it could be an opportunity coming off his recent big game to see if you can, get an improvement in what you're doing with your roster by moving him along. The next player I want to talk about, people might disagree with, but I think this is a great opportunity to move on from him. A player that I love, like I'm here in the Atlanta area. We are going to go to State Farm Arena to see the game when this man comes to town. Box office might very well be one of the faces of the league when LeBron James retires. I'm talking about Ant-Man, a.k.a. Anthony Edwards. Ant Edwards can be a sell high right now. He, in one of his preseason games, I think he did 30-something points in the first half or something like that. He is ice cold right now. And my apologies, not ice cold, but he has ice cold veins is what I'm trying to say. Your man is cooking with hot grease. And I think that the perception around him is that people want him to be a first-round guy. People believe that he is a first-round guy, when in fact, he has never been a first-round guy. He's never really been a first-round guy. Maybe in the 20s. But this could be an opportunity for you to send an offer for one of those first-round guys that you're interested in, whether it's Wemby, Jokic, Giannis, right down the line. Throw in another piece, like perhaps a Clingan, something like that. And then before you know, you can bring back one of those first-round players to your team. So for me, as much as I like Anthony Edwards, I think the buzz around him is that he's one of the top guys in fantasy, when in fact, he is not. And I think that you can take advantage of this if you package him with the right players. The next player we want to talk about for sell highs is Tyrese Maxey. Now, I know people are going crazy about Tyrese. They think he's going to go off. PG-13 is banged up. Joel Embiid is going to be resting back-to-backs. People probably think that he is going to bring the sun, moon, and the stars. And I think that he will perform, but I don't know if he'll be able to perform on the level that people expect. And this could be an opportunity early on in the season in a week 1 swap that you could trade him to bring home a player, in my opinion, that would kind of be more valuable to him long term, like Donovan Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's somebody I'm definitely interested in. You might be able to trade up and get somebody like, I don't know, Paolo Banchero in a points league. So you might need to throw in an additional piece to make the deal work for the other party. But Tyrese Maxey, his value is at an all-time high because people are so concerned about Joel Embiid. People are so concerned about PG-13. And with him being the young point guard with all of this usage, all of these minutes, there's no reason that people wouldn't be open to discussing a deal involving him that could get you some top-tier talent coming back on the return. Now that you know who to buy low and who to sell high on, check out this episode for the top 100 fantasy basketball players. This episode was presented to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. Every stat, matchup breakdown, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during games. With the largest catalog of odds on everything from football, MLB, playoffs, NHL, NBA, to political props. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here. Oh my goodness gracious gosh. You believe that? We did it, y'all. Man, that's crazy. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think, because again, it won't air in this format. This will be the last time that we share the live stream uncut, but we've been filming for an hour and 12 minutes. My throat is mad dry. Jesus Louise. Okay, so we're done with the live recording of the episode. I want to shout out our newest members to the Discord community, and then we'll answer a few questions and we'll wrap it up from there. So for Discord community, let's go through it. Man, and this is from the last couple weeks, since the last time we did a shout out train. So let's go. Big shout out to Bushy, who just joined today at 11:26 p.m. Big shout out to P-Wit. He joined today at 10:34 p.m. MB, Chinu, Howdy joined today. Brazilian dude joined today. Randomly, Savvy 69, Jace Maxey, HK Rod, News GZ. And if you're wondering what they joined our community. So they signed up for my mailing list as well as our Discord community. If you want to join us, all you have to do is visit believeinfantasy.com. Luperio also joined today at 4 o'clock today. Lex6969, X1, Jake, AO Arc, Poppy, Skipper also joined today. Zakib Mesbah, Terry's, Noah, Ishan17, Splash'em joined yesterday at 6:10 p.m. Eastern. X Moon TV, The Real Fella, Laughing Nostril, C, D. Calum, McKessel 91, Licious, Miguel, Smiley Face, Sue Us, Doggy Dan, Lukey B, Durez, Jacob Finn, Danky, Boss, Brandon the Destroyer, WCP, Cam, Kiflan, 97 Fern, EA Sports, DKL Pep, Ali, Kawhi Leonard fan, Herpes, not okay, Sways 8, Big Melon, Bobby's Corrupted Mind, Aiden, Pro X, Tanish, some language I don't understand, Aiden, Clement, The GOAT, Satchel, Cash Money, Colsteck, Champ Side, Mad Skills, ATK, Sammy G, Grape Drop 11, Nate, Steven, what? Jesus, Louise, Bathy, Black Throne, Ethan Botster, Perry, Antonio, I Am the Boss, Brando, Hugh, Puxel, KYBD, Kill Raven, So Basic, Mrs. Pippin, Calum, Buckets Walking, Cap Catalyst, Wholesome Brain, Ryad, Dylan Dips, Badgie Biz, El Rora 1097, Mozington, Payne, John Wick All Hands 23, Bill Gun, Hackney, AKT 91, Ryan, For the Moves, Soul Me Fist, Verbs, Yami Yoda, Kasim, Kevin Webster, Hamish, QLX Sid, Amazon 120, Parks, Vic Laugh, Armando Legacy, Sam, EC, Girk, Poppy Chorlock, Jamie 85, Dogged, Chow. I feel like Chow, we didn't go that far before. NC Hoops, Corey, Upstage, Comet. When was our last show? Let me just make sure I'm not reading the same ones. Our last show was actually the 13th, so we got to go back to at least to the 13th. LaMelo on top, Walty T, Amari's World, I Am Shul, Willow, June, V Chapo, David 07, Maddie J 2002, and the last one. That was the last one. Okay, cool. Man, that was a lot. There's a lot of new people in 1 week. Jeez Louise. Y'all out here showing up and showing out. Jeez Louise. Okay, we're going to answer a couple of questions, and then we're going to wrap it up. Now, the question I have for you, if you could let me know on the replay or on the live stream, I'm thinking about also making the Q&A a standalone episode as well. The last one we did not perform as well, but I feel like people got value from it because some of the questions that the community asks, you have those same questions. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll think about doing that. So let me go ahead and do this Q&A. If you got questions, drop them. I'll try to answer as many as possible. Here we go. So the first question is from Hoop Venture. He says, do you believe in Denny, Bilal as holes? I do believe in Denny. I believe Denny is a must-draft and must-hold player right now. Bilal, I'm kind of like on the fence, a little fringy for me. We need to see what happens. The next one is Cato. He says, what are you reading, or what is he reading? I was reading the names of the new members to our community. We have some inappropriate stuff here. Stanley, let's be kind. Give me a second. Just going to make sure. Got a lot of statements, not questions here. Ooh, Stanley, you got to go. Like, Stanley, this is Stanley Johnson's side chick. This place might not be for you because you got to be kind. We don't do all of this. All right, bro, get to the question. All right, bro, just get off the live. Like, really, we're all about kindness and inclusion here, but we don't tolerate any of this malarkey. So if you're a child, then don't hang out here if you're going to be like that. If you want to act mature and respectful, you can. I'm not answering any of your questions. Like, be out of here with that. What else did he say? Look what he said to Ormus. Come on, man. We don't do this. We don't talk like that here. Get out of here. Don't do that. See if we can find a legit question, though. Oh, this is a good one. So Jump says post your points league rankings. So we decided as a community it would be best if I didn't share rankings just because I got to constantly update them. It's better if I review existing rankings and then just give my commentary. So that's what we decided to do. So I'm not posting or sharing any public rankings. This is good. So the Valid says, what happened to the trade advice channel in the Discord from previous years? So we recently did some housekeeping on the actual Discord because it was just too cluttered, to be honest, the Valid. We were like, it was too much happening. So we just went back to the basics because most of those conversations around trades, around who to drop and pick up were happening in the general channel. And because they were happening in the general channel, we just decided to push people there. Now, if, in fact, the community wants us to add a channel, we're always open to it, but we just found that that channel wasn't as active as the general channel. Great question. This one is from Cato. I traded Mikhail and Dante for PG and Dennis. Did I win? I don't know if you win, but I think it's fair. I don't know if you won, but I think it's fair. Kyrie or Booker, 9Cat. I'd probably take Booker. I'll take a couple more questions. This one's from John. He says, got Lively, Ivy, and Quickly as my utility players and Naz Reid, Jordan Clarkson, and Malik Monk on my bench. Any of them I should move? I mean, I'd be open to moving any of these guys. The ones I would probably hold would probably be Lively and Quickly, but I'd be open to move any of those guys for the right deal. Dindo says, I have Joel Embiid. Dang, sounds like it's going to be a rough season. It might be. Hopefully it won't. This is from Christian. He says, would you trade away S Barnes for LaMelo Ball and Josh Giddey? Yeah, I'd do that. Oh, I would do that in a heartbeat. Oh, Josh the Giddler? Giddey? Come on, ma. Thoughts on Jalen Green and Anthony Simons? Not crazy about either one of them, but I understand drafting them and kind of seeing where it goes. Yeah. We're going to wrap up soon. This is good. We'll end with this one. This one is from No Limit Assassin. He says, is Franz going to be good this year? Absolutely. Franz Wagner is going to go off for all formats, but especially for points leagues. Don't forget, play the waivers, set your lineups, and believe in fantasy. See you next time.